Okay. Here's my philosophy when it comes to defending yourself. Now keep in mind, I've been out of the martial arts world as long as I was in it. I spent 6, maybe 7 years studying martial arts, and the majority of that was learning a style of martial art that I no longer practice, mentally, spiritually, or physically. However, I have picked up rudimentary, and I'm talking white belt equivalent. I'm not sure if they do belts in most gyms for Muay Thai kickboxing, but rudimentary skills for Muay Thai. Even more basic skills for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And I've learnt the basics, the difference between orthodox and southpaw, block, jab, punch, hook, so on and so forth. Right? My best weapon is my legs. My greatest weakness is also my legs, which I won't get into. My hands are half decent when I actually train, but I haven't trained for almost as long as I was in it. I wear steel caps for a reason, and it's not just for work. I also smoke, and I've become a bit of a fat belly. But eyes, throat, solar plexus, stomach, groin, knees, ankles, they're the weak point on any human body. There's also pliability in the thumb, certain pressure points up the arm, there's pressure points in your arm, in your shoulders and your neck. I'm not a big pressure point guy. I don't see much use for them. I know your basic security holds and takedowns, but if we would assume a stance here, hopefully if I move you down to the bottom of the base I'm on here, okay, I'll put you on the floor. Okay, look at my feet. This is a Taekwondo back stance. That's somewhere between a Muay Thai fighting stance and a Taekwondo forward stance. From here you got pliability in the hips. You can do a shin kick or a sternum kick or whatever you want to call it. You can do a front kick or a snap kick, whatever you want to call it. You can do the whole side kick. You can do the roundhouse or spinning heel. And I'm not in the right environment to be doing this. There's a fan right there, hang on. Jumping snap kick, so on and so forth. Your legs are always going to be longer than someone's arm. You always want to protect your head. Always want to protect your head. That's where the important part is. That's where your CPU is. That's your fucking brain. Next, you want to protect your vital organs. Open palm, closed palm. Doesn't matter if you know what you're doing. One's just going to do more damage. For anyone starting out, I suggest that you find a decent MMA gym. Townsville, there's 3, and they go up in price accordingly. Ronin Academy, they do Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu, but they've amalgamated some boxing techniques into their Muay Thai. Courage Training Center, they do all 3 separately, and then a combination mixed martial arts class. Then there's also UMF, or United Martial Arts Foundation, or some shit like that. They do all of the above, plus Krav Maga and Wing Chun Kung Fu. But they are also the most pricey because they separate their classes. If you don't live in Townsville, do your own Googling. I spent 6 years with Re International Taekwondo, trained skill level up to a first degree black belt. Was never officially promoted because they didn't want me to be a part of the staff. I injured myself and left for political reasons. I trained 4 young men up to their first degree black belt above my own station. They became assistant instructors and were coming back to me for lesson plans for the green belts because I didn't know what they were supposed to be teaching. I did advertising for them, a massive recruitment drive, and I was an assistant instructor in everything but rank and name. To the point that even the Grandmaster, World Master Chong Shul Ri, was getting angry that I wasn't being put for my promotion and put to the test. Am I salty about it? Sure. But at the end of the day, I've learnt better things. Even on a rudimentary level, I'm now a better fighter than I was then, even though I might not physically be as fit as I was. But that comes with mentality. You've got to be kidding me. Well, I'm not recording this again. If someone's got a knife, you just got to accept you're going to get cut. But there's a few different disarms. One, you can let them swing if they don't know what they're doing. Now, I'm getting a wooden knife. Where are you? Me personally, I'm going like this. I'm left-handed. Boom, 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 boom. Someone's holding a blade like this. They either have one, absolutely no idea what they're doing, they're trying to do the rule of cool, or two, they know how to retain a blade. It's pretty hard to disarm someone like this if they know what they're doing. Holding a knife like this. First thing, hands up, distance yourself, if you can. They go for a swing, dodge, on the back turn, double forearm block, grab hold as quickly as you fucking can. Jab or punch for the throat. And in a simultaneous motion, if someone's fighting you with your knife, you're going to get cut. Just accept it. Another one. They go like this. Xing block above your head, grab, twist, try to make them stab themselves in the thigh. Run like hell. There's a few more, but I'm not very well practiced. Say someone's pointing a gun at you. Put your fucking hands up, give them your wallet. Try to hold on to your phone. If they demand your phone, give them your fucking phone. Get out of that situation as peacefully as possible if you can. Report it to the police. To quote Bruce Lee, not exactly quote Bruce Lee, but more or less what Bruce Lee said, you can know every martial artist in the world, you can be the best fighter in the world, until someone shoots you. Martial arts will not save you from a gun. Are there disarm techniques? Sure. You want to try them against someone who has a loaded gun and is going to pull the trigger? Be my guest. Hope it works out for you. I'm not Bruce Lee, and even Bruce Lee didn't want to disarm someone with a fucking pistol. Someone's wielding a two-hand weapon. More for them because now they have both hands occupied. They can only attack with that weapon or their feet. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weapons. And if you can disarm them, you can use their weapon against them. Do I know how to fight with a staff? Yes, but I'm self-taught, not professional. Do I know how to fight with a sword? Yes, but I'm self-taught, not professional. Do I know how to fight with an axe? Yes, but I'm self-taught, not professional. Point is, a two-handed weapon requires both of these, both sides of this, like speaking internally, to operate. You're focused on your weapon more than you're focused on your opponent. I've actually had a motherfucker try to come up with some katana-looking fantasy thing. It wasn't even a katana, it was like some kind of fantasy sword. What he didn't realise is it would have snapped upon first contact with my actual military combat knife. And no, I'm not a military veteran. I'm someone who wishes to serve, has a fascination, has a long history, family-wise, but no, I have not served. But one can purchase things from surplus shops. His little fantasy blade would have snapped upon first contact, and believe me, I would have parried his first attack. So, now, someone's coming at you, telegraphing, boom, just step the fuck out of the way. If you got good enough hand-eye coordination, do a judo throw. No, I haven't learned judo, but it's simple enough. Fucking just, as they go, grab their wrist, step to a side, use their own fucking momentum against them. Everyone knows the fucking over-the-shoulder thing, and that's actually fairly simple. I wish I had someone here to demonstrate, but it's all on the fucking hips. Out of the way. So, someone takes a punch, block, grab the wrist, put their elbow over the top of your shoulder, pivot the hip into their hip, put your leg behind their leg, and boom. During the Taekwondo black belt ratings, I had to help the female black belts do it to demonstrate that you could do it against a much larger foe. It's fairly simple. My ethos is, if you can talk your way out of it, talk your way out of it. If you can't talk your way out of it, run. If you can't run, can't talk your way out of it, call for help. If help doesn't come, your leg is longer than their arm. Keep them at a leg's distance. You can't keep them at a leg's distance, keep them at a hand's distance. Above all, protect the head and the chest. Keep your jaw in, keep your arms up, protect yourself. And, worst case scenario, this is where the jiu-jitsu comes in. If you put someone into a proper full Nelson, which is like this, and like this, boom. Put someone into a proper full Nelson. It takes about 30 seconds to a minute to render someone unconscious. It takes 4 minutes to kill them. Once you go past that unconscious state, and you'll know when they're unconscious, you're doing brain damage. You cannot be sued for defending yourself, but you can be sued for going above and beyond necessary force. If they're unarmed, use unarmed techniques. If they are armed, you can use armed techniques. However, if you're unarmed and they are armed, go for the knockout. I'm not talking punch their brains out. I'm saying get yourself into a situation where you can pin them and you can choke them out. Worst case scenario. As a security personnel, you can't fucking do that unless it's extreme situations, and you will be sued. But talking as a random cunt off the street, attacking you and you're some random cunt off the street defending yourself, keep them at a leg's distance, keep them at an arm's distance, get into a situation where you can scuffle on the ground, learn a little bit of jiu-jitsu so you can wrestle, so you can pin them and put them in a choke. I guarantee you, if you put someone in a chokehold and whisper some fucked up shit in their ear, or say, if you don't calm the fuck down, you go on to sleep, they'll tap out. It's quite painful being choked unconscious. It's not nice waking up after it either. Anyway, that's my basics. I've started working at a restaurant, I won't say which, because I'm pretty sure they don't want to be associated with this restaurant. Associated with this YouTube channel, rather. But when I get into a little bit more financial security, I'm actually going to start training in one of the local MMA gyms, get back into shape, start sparring again, and eventually I'm even going to pick up what UMF offers, because fuck it, I'm interested. I'd like to see what Bruce Lee's version of Kung Fu was, even though he later went on to make Jeet Kune Do, and I will eventually find a place that teaches Jeet Kune Do. And I want to see what Systema's like. Systema, Krav Maga, and Jeet Kune Do. They're all fucking proto-MMA, before there was an MMA. So, yeah. Anyway, feel free to comment any questions and whatnot. There's any scenarios you may find yourself in. I am not a big believer in katas. Katas are for very specific situations that you'll never find yourself in. Are they good for memorization and good for fitness and good for meditation? Sure they are. I still do some of my katas. But yeah, that's another story. Feel free to comment and whatnot. I know one jackass might comment, but keep in mind, buddy, you can't get out of my bear hugs. Anyway, that's enough for this fat ass cripple rambling on about things that he is no longer fit enough to really do professionally and never will do professionally again. Could I teach one day? Sure. Could I spar again? Sure. But I'll never get into a proper ring. That's not cowardice speaking. I still want to serve my nation, but I'll never be a professional prize fighter for reasons I won't get into. I'm just too broken. Not broken enough that I can't do jobs that require you to know these things, but in a modern combat scenario, you're not really going to scuffle hand to hand, and in a military uniform, they're not going to know where your obvious weak point is. Have a nice day. Odin bless. Hit subscribe, join Odin's Ravens. Like, comment, share, all that good stuff.